Hey, thank you so much for joining me for today's at-home Pilates session. Today is an equipment-free total body workout. We're gonna get started with a warm-up, move right into some glute work, move into some upper body strengthening moves, and then finish off with some abdominal exercises. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to begin in an all fours position. Take the knees nice and wide, big toes come together. We're going to walk the hands a little bit further out in front of the body, and we're just going to sink back onto the heels, stretching and lengthening through the spine, and then come forward. Back and forward. Good. Send the tailbone back and then come forward. Straighten and lengthen through the spine and lift. So I'd like you to breathe out as you stretch back, really feeling the length in the spine. We've got 3, opening in the hips as you sit back as well, for 2, and last 1. Amazing. Now moving into an all fours position, legs are hip distance apart, legs are parallel now. We have the shoulders above the wrists. We're going to draw some leg circles in the air to warm up the hips a little bit here and open up through the hips. So we're going to circle the right knee over to the right, drawing a nice big circle in the air with that right knee. Really lubricating the joint. Stretch and lift up. We've got 3 and 2, and final circle, and lower the knee. Other side. Pick that left knee up, drawing those nice big exaggerated circles in the air. Breathe through each one. We've got 3, 2, opening up in the hip, and last 1. Amazing work. We're going to drop down onto the forearms now. So make sure your elbows are below your shoulders and your forearms are parallel. I'm going to extend my left leg out long. Make sure the hips are square with the mat and your right knee is below your right hip. I'm going to lift that leg up. Toe is pointed here. We're going to hold that leg at torso height, and then we're going to lift and lower to torso height. Lift, squeeze the glute, lower to torso height. So lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower. Good, keep it up. So really focusing on squeezing through those left glutes as you lift and lower the leg. The toe stays pointed here, the leg stays long. Lifting and lowering with control. It's a really slow movement, so we're warming up those left glutes. The gaze is down on the mat here, the belly is plugged in, really lengthening through the toe and protecting the low back by ensuring that when you lift that leg up, you're not arching through the spine. So you're just squeezing the left glutes at the top of the movement. Good, keeping all the muscles engaged, running up the back of the leg, squeezing the bum. Keep your shoulders down away from your ears here. Your spine is nice and long, neck is relaxed, gaze is on the floor. We've got 3, 2, and 1. Hold it here. Flex the foot, pull the toes back toward the shins. We're gonna hamstring curl, bring heel toward bum, straighten the leg and lift. Lower to torso height, bend, straighten, lift. Hamstring curl, straighten, lift. Good. Hamstring curl, straighten, and lift. So again, we're really protecting the low back by ensuring that our abdominals are lifted up toward the ceiling. Tightening that hamstring as we pull the heel back toward the bum. Good. It's slow, it's controlled. When you are lifting that heel up toward the ceiling on the leg lift, again, really squeezing the glutes. Hamstring curl, little lift. Hamstring curl, Lengthen through the heel. We've got 3, 2, last 1. Nice work. Now I'm going to switch positions, coming onto my palms. You can keep your forearms down on the floor if that's more comfortable for you. I'm going to bend the left knee. Knee is touching down toward the mat. So I'm going to lift the leg, pulse up. 1, 2, 3, then tap the knee down to the mat. Repeat. 1, 2, 3, and lower. Lift, 2, 3, and lower. Good. So making sure that your hips are square with the mat. Little pulses. So we don't want to see any swinging here through the spine. Your torso is nice and stable, and you're getting that lift by squeezing the glutes, not arching through the spine. Good. Lift, 2, 3, and lower. Up, a little higher, good, and lower. Pulse, 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 lowering with control. Good, we've got 3 more sets. Last 2. Last 1. And lower. Now to finish off on this left side, we're going to flex the left foot. We're going to lift the left knee so that the upper leg is torso height, and we're going to do 20 continuous pulses here up through the heel. Pulse, pulse, pulse. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Belly in for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Squeeze the glutes. 3, 2, 1. Hold. Nice work. Step your heel down. Step your other leg back into plank, and then fold your left leg under the body, coming into pigeon pose. Take a moment here to stretch and lengthen. Stretching into those left glutes, opening up in the left hip. Take a couple deep breaths here, in through the nose and out through the mouth for 3 and 2 and 1. Let's bring the legs into a cross-legged position and then switch over to the other side. So dropping forearms down to the mat, making sure the elbows are below the shoulders. We're going to stretch and lengthen through that right leg. We're going to lift the leg up to torso height, pointing through the toe. Lift and lower to torso height. Lift and lower. Good. Squeeze the glutes at the top of the lift. Not lifting so high so that you're arching the low back. I know I keep saying that, but really protect that area of the body. Not only to protect the lower back, but also to ensure that you're working the right muscles here. So you're getting that lift by squeezing the glute, by lengthening through that leg. So the thighs are working, the glutes are working. We're isolating this work in the lower body. So try not to let your leg drop any lower than torso height. Your lift doesn't have to be quite as high as mine. Just focus on that contraction of the glutes at the top of that lift. Good. Breathing and lengthening. Our gaze stays down on the mat so that the neck is in line with the spine. Belly plugged in as usual. Good. Shoulders roll down away from the ears. We've got 3, 2, and 1. Flex the foot. Heel to bum, extend, little lift. Hamstring curl, extend, little lift. Keep it up. Can already feel it burning on this right side. Good, make every movement count. Really contract the hamstring as you bring heel to bum, and then squeeze the glute as you lift the leg. Keep it slow, keep it controlled, keep all the muscles switched on. You want that foot flexed the entire time, so you're lengthening out through the heel. We've got 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. Now coming onto the palms or staying down on the forearms if that's more comfortable for you. Bending, tapping the knee down, pointing through the right toes. We're gonna lift 2, 3, and lower. Lift 2, 3, and lower. 3 little pulses at the top before tapping the knee down. Good, really lift through those abdominals. Keep your shoulders nice and broad here. So you want to be pushing the mat away from you. You don't want to be collapsing in the shoulders here. Fingers are spread. Gentle bend in the elbows so they're not locked out. Nice. Keep lifting, lifting, lifting. Breathing as you go. Good. 3 more sets. Last 2. And final 1. Lower the leg, flex the foot. We're going into those 20 continuous pulses. So lift the leg to torso height. Let's do this. Good. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, belly in, 2, 1, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Step the leg back, foot is flexed. Step the other leg back and then fold the right leg under the body for pigeon pose. Roll the shoulders down and back and take a couple of well-deserved deep breaths here. Inhaling and exhaling. Really sink into that stretch. Enjoy it in that right glute and the opening feeling in the right hip. We'll hold for 3 and 2 and 1. Amazing work. Now from this position, we're going to plant the hands down on the mat under the shoulders. We're going to step the right foot back, foot is flexed. Step the left foot back, foot is flexed into a nice strong plank. You can come down onto your forearms for this if that works better for you. Hold here. Lift navel up toward the ceiling. We're going to go into some alternating knee taps. So tap the right knee, back to plank, tap the left knee. So alternating sides. Your job here is to keep your torso nice and stable. So you don't want to be swaying too much from side to side. And you want to be lifting that abdominal wall. Nice broad shoulders. Keep it up. We've got 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, abs in, 2, and 1. Hold for 5, 4, 3, lift those abdominals, 2, 1. Soften your knees down to the mat. Take the knees nice and wide, big toes come together. We're gonna sink back, straightening the spine, so not a full child's pose, but a nice lengthening of the spine here. Take your hands about mat distance apart. We're gonna come forward, sink the chest, hover, and then push up through the heels of the hands. Stretch the spine, not sitting fully back on the heels. Come forward, hover, push up. So you're hovering your chest up off the mat, pushing up through the heels of the hands, and stretching the spine back straight. Come forward, hold, engage those arms, and then push back. Good. Keep the elbows in close toward the sides of the body. Keep the spine nice and long. Gaze stays down on the mat the entire time. Now really challenge yourself by holding for a second and then pushing the mat away through the heels of the hands. So sink, hold, push back. Sink, hold, nice straight spine, push back. Good. So you're getting a little bit of a lengthening of the spine out through the tailbone for a second before you come forward again, challenging yourself by holding and pushing back. Lift your body up off the mat through the heels of those hands, making the upper arms work really hard here. Nice work, toning and defining those upper arms. And last one, we're gonna hold in that elevated position for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Push up so that you're in an all fours position. Nice work. So set yourself up, wrists below shoulders, knees below hips, and hips and knees, or knees are hip distance apart. Nice. From this position, we're gonna curl the toes, and we're gonna go into some shin lift knee taps. So they look like this. We're coming up into our shin lift position. The spine is nice and long. The knees and shins are parallel with the mat. Hold strong here. Shoulders are broad. Now we're gonna tap the knees and then lift back to the starting point. Tap and lift. So your shin should never come up. Your knees should never come up so high that your shins aren't parallel with the floor. So you want your shins parallel with the floor with every lift. Inhale, lower, exhale, lift. And as you lift your knees, lift your belly button as well. Plug those abdominals in. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Drop the knees for a moment, and we're gonna prepare for a final hold. So we're gonna hold in our shin lift position, just a static hold, strengthening the upper body, working those abs. Inhale to prepare, gentle bend in the elbows, exhale, lift, just hovering those knees up off the mat. Abs are plugged in, and we're holding. Good work. Breathing in through the nose, and out through the mouth. Holding for 10 more seconds. Keep it up. Don't drop those knees. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Keep holding. 2, and 1. Amazing work. Tap the knees down for a second. Deep inhale and exhale. Scoop in those abdominals and lift hips toward the ceiling, coming into a downward dog. Let your head hang heavy between your shoulders. Elevate your hips a little bit higher up toward the ceiling, lengthening up the backs of the legs. Invite your heels down toward the mat. For 3, and 2, and 1. Gently bring your knees down to the mat. Sweep your arms back. Lift your shoulders up by your ears. Clasp your hands behind your back. Take a moment here. Deep inhale and exhale. Open through the chest. Squeeze the palms together for 3, and 2, and 1. Release the stretch. Amazing. From here, we're gonna come down onto our mats, and we're gonna get into our abdominal work. So find the center of your mat. We'll lower down and relax onto the mat. Nice work. Now, from this position, we're going to extend the left leg out long. Right leg is hugging in toward the chest. Left hand is around just under the knee. Right hand is around the shin. I'm gonna peel head, neck, and shoulders up into a crunch position. And we're gonna go into our single leg stretch. So we're breathing out to switch the legs. And good. So breathe out to switch as you hug the knee in towards your forehead. Head, neck, and shoulders are elevated here. So your bottoms of your shoulder blades are just touching to the mat. Your head is resting on top of your shoulders. Now, if that's too much, lower head, neck, and shoulders down. You can do a couple reps here and then come up again if that feels good. Just make sure you're challenging yourself without straining your neck. And you also want to ensure that when you're doing this exercise, you are drawing your navel in towards your spine as you breathe out. So as knee comes in toward the chest, you're really tightening that belly down toward the mat. Good. Keep breathing. Your toes should be pointed, lengthening out through those toes. We've got 10, 9, abs in, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring both knees in. Relax head, neck, and shoulders down. Now from this position, we're going to hug just the right knee in toward the chest and extend the left leg out long. So we're going to be doing some leg lifts from this position. We're lifting and lowering the leg. Inhale up, exhale down. Lift and lower. Now if you have the strength to do so, I want you to peel up into a crunch position and move up and down. Inhale and exhale. Abs in, lowering with control and lifting with control. Head, neck, and shoulders elevated. Again, if you need to do a couple reps with the head, neck, and shoulders down to alleviate any stress in the neck, please do that. Good. We've got 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower, both knees come in. Relax head, neck, and shoulders down for a moment. Now stretch opposite leg out. Other knee comes in toward the chest. Lower and lift. Inhale up, exhale, abs into lower. Good. Get used to the movement. And then peel head, neck, and shoulders up if you can to increase the level of challenge on those abs. Shoulders are down away from the ears. If your head, neck, and shoulders are lifted, your head is resting on top of your head, never straining, pulled back like that. You want your chin gently tucked, although not touching your chest. So you've got a little bit of space between your chin and your chest. Good. Keep lifting and lowering with control. Abs are in, lower abs are working here. We've got 3, 2, and 1. Both knees in. Now for our final challenge to finish off this abdominal work, we're going to go into our double leg lifts. So you can either place your hands underneath your bum cheeks on either side of your tailbone for a little bit of relief on the lower back, a little bit of support, or you've got your hands by your side, or you have your hands interlaced behind your head, head, neck, and shoulders lifted. So you can make the adjustments with your hands after you start, depending on how you're feeling strength-wise. So we're going to stretch the legs up toward the ceiling. Legs are squeezing together here. If you need a gentle bend, that's fine too. Just make sure those legs squeeze together. I'm going to lift head, neck, and shoulders up. I'm lowering just as far down as you can without your low back lifting off the mat, and then lifting. Inhale, lower, exhale, lift. Lower, abs into lift. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, lower, abs into lift. Squeeze the thighs and the glutes. It'll help for extra added support and stability. Hinging from the hip, lifting the legs. We've got 5, 4, I know these are tough, but there's no better way to strengthen those lower abs. 3, so stick with it. And 2, final 1, lower, lift, and bring both knees in. Stretch both legs out long on the mat and roll over onto your stomach. Taking your hands on either side of your shoulders and peeling up for an abdominal stretch. Roll your shoulders down and back. Breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth for 3 and 2. Arch up a little bit more if you can. And 1. Push back into child's pose. Sinking back onto those heels for 3 and 2 and 1. Slowly make your way back up to a kneeling position. Turn and face me. Amazing work. I hope you enjoyed that workout. Lift your shoulders up by your ears to finish off. And exhale, roll them down and back. Let's take one more. Lift up through those shoulders and melt them down and back. Thank you for moving with me, and I'll see you again next time.